we're going to go ahead and start adding some different features for this specific property. Before getting into things like operating expenses and how they're passed through to tenants and that type of thing, one of the most common features used in this program is adding inflation, which is very important to discounted cash flow analysis. To do that, I'm going to go up here, click Property and Description, click on the Property Inflation tab. We are using the basic standard default reimbursement method, calendar reimbursement using fiscal inflation. We want the inflation month to start at the analysis start date. You can set a general inflation that you will be able to select as a reference or apply to all of the items that you have below, or you can go through and select different inflation for different types of expenses or capital expenditures, different types of inflation for market rent. Important here, this program does have the ability for you to input construction costs and different type of expenditures that aren't necessarily capital expenditures. Things like if you were going to construct the property, or you're going to acquire extra land, or let's say add an addition to the property, you could set land or hard or soft costs for that. I'm going to go ahead and say that the general inflation for all these categories is going to be 2.5%. If I select 2.5, you'll notice that it just allocates it for 2017. If I click extend, it allocates it throughout the holding period and also adds on an additional year. Sometimes calculations this is important to note because you have 10-year holding period, but sometimes calculations can be based on the final year or the year after. So if I was capitalizing my net operating income at the end of this holding period, it would be at the end of the 10-year holding period. So from the analysis start date, 10 years from that day would be the last month of that final year, or possibly the first month of the following year. So just an important thing to note there.